India's parliament was attacked today. Two individuals sprayed gas inside the Lok Sabha, the lower house. The parliament was in session. The house was interrupted. Lives were risked. Today is the 13th of December. It is the 22nd anniversary of the 2001 parliament attack. And today, India's parliament saw that security breach. Here's how the entire episode unfolded. Proceedings kicked off today at the Parliament's lower house, the Lok Sabha. Leaders across party lines paid their tributes to the martyrs of the 2001 attack. It was time for the 0 hour. Two people jumped into the Lok Sabha chamber from the public gallery with smoke canisters in hand. In the footage, you can see a man in black jacket jumping desk to desk and heading towards the well of the house. And soon, the house was filled with white and yellow colored smoke. The two men were chanting, "Tanashahi nahi chalegi," which translates into "dictatorship will not be accepted." Some members of the parliament tried to overpower the two men. The Congress MP Gurjeet Singh was one of the MPs who caught hold of the intruders. The Congress leader said the men had something in their hand that was emitting yellow-colored smoke. He says he snatched it away and threw it outside. At first, some of the parliamentarians thought that somebody fell down the visitors' gallery. It was only after the second person jumped in that they realized that this was a big security breach. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was not in the parliament at the time.
And they started shouting slogans and they are spreading some gas inside. They're running about in the Lok Sabha, inside the house.
सदन के अंदर हमारे सारे एमपी जितने साथी हैं वो पकड़ लिए दोनों को. कोई सिक्योरिटी वाले नहीं, सारे एमपी उनको पकड़ लिए. तो उसके बाद सिक्योरिटी फोर्स भी उनको बाहर निकाले.
पब्लिक गैलरी से दो लोग कूद गए और एकदम से धुआं जो है वो उठने लगा. अफरा तफरी मच गई, लेकिन उन दोनों लोगों को पकड़ लिया गया है.
Meanwhile, outside the parliament, two other people were detained. They were protesting with cans that emitted the same yellow-colored smoke. The two individuals, one man and one woman, have been identified and detained. The parliamentary proceedings were suspended when business resumed about an hour later. The Speaker of the House, Om Birla, told the MPs that investigations had found that the cans had nothing apart from ordinary smoke. It was just intended to cause sensation. He assured the lawmakers that the probe will continue and a report will be presented to the House.
प्रारंभिक जांच के अंदर जो प्रारंभिक जांच आए वो दोनों लोग पकड़ लिए गए हैं. उनकी सारी सामग्री को जब्त कर लिया गया है और जो दो लोग बाहर थे उनको भी गिरफ्तार कर लिया गया है.
The anti-terror unit's special cell has now taken charge. Earlier today, a forensics team also arrived at the parliament to analyze the situation. The parliament complex has been closed to visitors. After the breach today, the security protocols have been revamped. This includes separate entrance for the MPs, for the staff members and for journalists. Issuing of visitor passes has now been suspended. But it's important to remember here, the incident took place in the new high-security parliament building. It was inaugurated, remember, by Prime Minister Modi in May this year itself. And yet, 22 years and a new parliament building later, how is it that India's temple of democracy was attacked once again? How could the parliament security be breached once again? The members of parliament are now up in arms. The Indian news agency PTI cited Rajya Sabha BJP MP Rajendra Agarwal as saying that there was certainly a loophole. Leaders of other political parties have also expressed concern. They question how the security of the parliament was compromised.
That these fellows smuggled in these smoke pistols, which shows a very serious security lapse. Thirdly, that not only did they fire the pistols, they leapt into the floor, they shouted some slogans which are not audible to some of us, but the fact that they did that is better than if they had actually tried to kill people. This is the anniversary of a tragic assault in Parliament where 7 of our people died. I mean, we can't, take these matters lightly. The new building does not seem to be configured very well when it comes to security by comparison with the arrangements in the old building.
Now, I must tell you that it's not easy to get access to the parliament. You have to apply for a pass and then a complete background check is done. Inside the building, there are security checks and scanners. One of the intruders has been identified as Sagar. He had a pass that allowed him to enter the Lok Sabha. Let me also tell you here that to enter the parliament, you must clear 5 levels of security, 5 of them. Yet somehow these individuals managed to carry smoke cans through these security gates and break them open inside the chamber in the presence of India's lawmakers. Just digest that. The question is, how could this happen? Now, we are lucky the gas was not poisonous. Otherwise, this story would have taken a deadly turn. 22 years ago, today, on this day, over a dozen people were killed in an attack on the Indian Parliament. Today's incident reinforces the fear that determined terrorists continue to be a threat. And one thing about all terrorist threats is that the world has pledged cooperation against them. Following today's incident, India expects all countries to cooperate in the fight against terrorism. India expects all countries to practice what they preach. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.